50% plus one in the first round. A second ballot shall be conducted on the second Tuesday following the announcement of the results of the first ballot. Second Tuesday, I will end here. I don't have to go all the way down. Second Tuesday following the announcement of the result of the first ballot. If you need to plan for elections second round, the time the law telling you we need to conduct the second round, do you expect for us to get the money after announcing the results?
The FRR for the 2023 presidential and legislative elections will be made available to all political parties, independent candidates, and other stakeholders upon completion of the ongoing process to secure the data. As per the law, a list of precincts was published on 11 September 2023. Additionally, to make the process more transparent, as has been done in the past, the final registration roll is encrypted to be pasted at the 2080 precincts across the country prior to the election day. The FRR for the 2023 presidential and legislative elections will be made available to all political parties, independent candidates, and other stakeholders upon completion of the ongoing process to secure the data. In keeping with our original plan, the National Elections Commission is pleased to announce that ballot papers for the 2023 presidential and legislative elections have arrived in the country. The ballot papers arrived on Monday, 25th September 2023 from the Republic of Ghana via the Roberts International Airport in the following categories and quantities. Presidential ballots, 3,320,500 ballots. Senatorial ballots, 3,402,122 ballots. Representative ballots, 3,403,208 ballots.
The government of Liberia has taken all necessary measures to ensure a free, fair, transparent, peaceful, inclusive, and credible elections. The National Election Commission has been strengthened to ensure that it operates without undue influence. In addition, political parties have committed themselves to a non-violent electoral process.
Currently, the Commission is making preparation in all areas. We are carrying on massive awareness in all the counties. We have a structure we refer to as CVE cells. We created cells in all of the electoral districts and counties across this country. Awareness on the electoral process is ongoing. When will be the elections? How you will vote, meaning voter education is ongoing. Also, we are informing people when the polls open, when the polls will close, what is expected of the electorates, what are the colors attached to the ballot papers or the ballot boxes, because there will be colors. What is expected? There's a lot of things going on, information sharing. Also, the Commission is making preparation for Elections Day, and we are on course with our preparation. At the first round, we call for absolute majority of the vote, meaning you must have 50% plus one. Then you win the first round, meaning there's no second round. If no candidate obtained absolute majority, 50% plus one in the first round, a second ballot shall be conducted on the second Tuesday following the announcement of the results of the first ballot. Second Tuesday, I will end here. I don't have to go all the way down. Second Tuesday following the announcement of the result of the first ballot. If you need to plan for elections second round, the time the law telling you we need to conduct the second round, do you expect for us to get the money after announcing the results before we start running being a Ministry of Finance or before we start making preparation? Election doesn't work like that. While we are talking about now, the Commission start to engage for that money.
The government of Liberia has taken all necessary measures to ensure a free, fair, transparent, peaceful, inclusive, and credible elections. The National Election Commission has been strengthened to ensure that it operates without undue influence. In addition, political parties have committed themselves to a non-violent electoral process.
Round, we call for absolute majority of the vote, meaning you must have 50% plus one. Then you win the first round, meaning there's no second round. If no candidate obtained absolute majority, 50% plus one in the first round, a second ballot shall be conducted on the second Tuesday following the announcement of the results of the first ballot.
Work together on October 10. Let us go vote for the government to have a second term. And you will see more development. When I came to you, I told you that I want to connect your country to our neighboring country. And you see all the roads that we made is to connect Liberia to our neighboring country. Liberia is 176 years old. In 171 years, what you see in the 5 years is impossible. Because we have done so much unprecedented development in this country in 5 years that 171 years they could not achieve it. If all of the presidents that came could not achieve in the 171 years, in the 5 years I will do everything, and some people that spent 12 years say they want to come back to finish it. No, why you want to finish my work? Because you never left for work for me to finish it.
That is why you will hear most people say, oh, he making music. With the stress that president we are or not, he's going to be making music every day because he has a country that he has to make sure is running properly. A lot of stress. Everybody has a different way of dealing with their stress. But has he shirked his responsibility? You have former worker that say he worked for 12 years, Unity Party squandered it. Did I say so? So if you sat as vice president, as the key advisor to President Salif, you know, anything that will happen in your government, good or bad or ugly, all our being sad. So I would not go say, oh, President, no, he didn't squander his opportunities. So if you can say that you sat at a place, most of the critical meetings were held at Vice President Boyka's home. President Salif would leave her house and go and call cabinet meeting there. So he was a part of the whole process. So you didn't have any voice? How can you now sit at this point and say you squandered your opportunities when you were vice president?
We want to say to Liberians, maybe you have not seen real country that gave opportunity. Over the years, people have taken you for granted. They think anything they do is okay. But for us, we say it's unacceptable. Your living quarters must be decent. You will have you don't have to beg people. It's your right to have electricity. It's your right to have water. It's your right to have decent transportation. It's your right to go to shop freely. People have made us to believe that we owe them for everything they do. They're not doing it. It is your right. You elected them to do the right things.
The Joint Security condemns in the strongest terms the violence which occurred on Friday, September 29, 2023 in Foya, Lofa County. Preliminary investigation has confirmed that the violence, which led to 2 deaths, the wounding of several persons, and vandalism, was the result of clashes between individuals identified as supporters of the Congress for Democratic Change and the Unity Party. We continue to caution against incendiary, inciting, and violent rhetoric being delivered online, in the print and electronic media, and in our communities. Deliberate misinformation, disinformation, fake news, hate message, extreme militancy, both in dress code and deportment, by some of the young people in political parties, continue to pose a deeply concerning challenge.
We shall overcome because the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. We shall overcome because Carlyle is right. No lie can live forever. We shall overcome because William Cullen Bryant is right. Truth crushed the earth will rise again. We shall overcome because James Russell Lowell is right. Truth forever on the scaffold, wrong forever on the throne. Yet that scaffold sways the future. Behind the dim unknown standeth God within the shadow, keeping watch above his own. We shall overcome because the Bible is right. You shall reap what you sow. We shall overcome. Deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome.
One of the proponents in propagating the proper agenda, the PAPD. Then today you say, what are open to offer? You supposed to ask me in that English?
Are you being supported?
My brother, I'm saying, don't ask me that question. I think the party is under the obligation.
To do for you?
Yeah.
But they aren't doing.
You ask me and you want me to be monotonous. I think...
Are they doing for you?
I said, I think the party is under the obligation.
That expression means they aren't, they ought to.
I said, the party is under the obligation.
They are doing it for you directly.
Speak good English, man. I beg you. Let's move on.
You don't want to come straight.
Honorable Sam Andrew, I don't know what you mean. I said, the party is under the obligation because I'm one of the progenitor.
That is what you get when the hobo pejoratively hobnobs with the hobo bambusu, razudasu, rasmatas politically. He was supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious is a way of saying the president was fantastic. But his political enemies said he was suffering from what I describe as new mono ultra microscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. Yes, it's a word that is supposed to be called silicosis, meaning a long disease. But in search for the longest word in the dictionary, they pep it up to become a 45-letter word, which is new mono ultra microscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. What an odium! What an ignominious memento! That even at the barbituration of the so much acclimatized, the same subsidy evacuation and barbituration was condemned by a scrupulous, fastidious, puritanica, boisterous, energetic, and a routine, but today, for political somnambulism and malocclusion, reticent, taciturn, uncommunicative, and unforthcoming, meaning he has foretold in their poll.
Don't trouble nothing too much, you know.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3.
I love you. I'm missing you. I want you back. Long time no see. Out your love, I'm lonely. I miss you. And it's too hard to bear. What have you done to me? I'm waking up in the middle of the night without you. And it's so unfair. I tossed and turn, reach for you, only my pillows. Soon, awake, the morning sun rises, but I'm alone. Hurts me so.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 9, I want you back.
It is another day, people, and thank you so very kindly. Can appreciate you the more that you join us for the show this afternoon. Bits and pieces on Voice of Liberia 104.1 Monrovia and Voice of Liberia 89.7 Kakata Magibi County, Telecom Community, and Voice of Liberia online radio, www.voiceofliberiaradio.com, and Facebook. Keywords, Voice of Liberia. On this 5th day of October. Oh, yes. 5th day of October 2023. 5th day to go. I can say it that way. But it's 5 days to go. So, October 10th. My name is Sam Andrews, and we do it together on Bits and Pieces.
And like a child, I would say it's so easy to you. 1, 2, 3, I love you.
4, 5, 6,
I miss you. I want you back.
1, 2, 3.
I love you.
4, 5, 6,
I'm
7.
missing you. I want you back.
So, as we are back, we talk the issues as they unfold. We put the bits and the pieces together. We just start polls, and you make the decision. We've got a couple of issues to talk about. Tomorrow or Tuesday, national holiday, CDC claim of against Unity Party triggering the Lofa incident, writes the international community. Unity Party, in return, will accuse the Coalition for Democratic Change. They too will turn to the international community. And NEC says it is ready. Everything is in place for October 10th. The candidates, presidential and legislative, are crisscrossing. They are rounding up. They've got today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow, and everything is over. Speaker Chambers in the southeast, Pro Tem Abachie, there's a collapse structure that left at least 7 people dead in Maryland County. Education Ministry giving out motorbikes. Ministry of Health will launch the second polio vaccination, and the Gender Ministry launch or will run through their activity the Day of the African Child. So that's how it looks like for this afternoon. So let's take them one by one, and then we can discuss the issues as they unfold. So, with just 5 days to go, people, we can help but appeal to ourselves to be mindful of the day that is ahead of us. And what that means is you want to keep the atmosphere as peaceful. You want to ensure that you preserve yourself and preserve the peace, stability, so that on Tuesday next week, you will go to the poll to determine who becomes the next president of Liberia and who becomes the next senator or representative. To ensure that is done in a germane, secure, stable atmosphere, the government will declare that day a national holiday. The president will issue a proclamation declaring next Tuesday, October 10th, general and presidential elections day, and is to be observed according to the government from the president's office as national holiday. According to a foreign ministry release, the proclamation calls on citizens and foreign residents within the Republic of Liberia to respect, especially this national holiday. As such, the release also directs government offices, business houses, and marketplaces in Liberia to be closed on that day from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. The proclamation further indicated that the government of the Republic of Liberia is desirous of ensuring the unhindered movement of all eligible voters, granting unto them the opportunity to exercise their constitutional franchise in Liberia in a peaceful manner on the day of election. The proclamation stated that in consonance with chapter, not too clear, yeah, Article 83A, and this is the 1986 Constitution, of the 1986 Constitution of Liberia, which provides that the holding of elections for president, vice president, members of the Senate, and members of the House of Representatives shall be conducted throughout the Republic on the second Tuesday in October of each election year. Next Tuesday is national holiday. It is referred to as General and Presidential Elections Day, national holiday. Everybody stay away from business, from work, from traveling, whatever your itinerary, you have to close it on next Tuesday so that you go to vote. And let me add to the proclamation. You don't want to have yourselves regretting or have yourself regretting, sorry. You don't want to have yourself regretting. That means whatever the situation you got, if you think that they are so important that you ought to tend to it and you miss out on voting time, you will consciously not be well because you will think that you have done something of vital significance that should not have been done. So at the close of the day, what do you want? If it doesn't happen, then you'll begin to regret it and say, if I had known. Moreover, you want to go at your center where you register and exercise patience on the line. And as you will do, or as you will go at the center, you want to guide against distractions. You want to make sure that you are in every way that you ought to be so that you exercise, as the word would say, franchise or your right to vote. If you don't show up to vote or you don't show up to vote, the person whom you want to get to the legislature or the president, say, the person wouldn't, because that vote could give the person the right to the presidency or not. So you want to get out. It is because of that that the government will decree a holiday. Holiday means you stay away from everything that you ought to do, but it doesn't impose on you, but rather gives you the opportunity. So if you feel that yes, Tuesday is not important, I get other things that are significant, I can go about to do them, and the election time passes, well, it's up to you. The person whom you have always supported and will wish that the person wins, when the results are announced and the person isn't announced, it is because you just didn't vote. That is why it is significant. And your conscience, I should tell you, would never ever be clear. No matter how you were trying to be smart with it psychologically. But your conscience would not be clear. The conscience is the human being. Once you don't turn out to vote, you never ever have a clear conscience. Even if you lie to people, even if you give excuse and you think that such an excuse is weighty enough for conviction, your conscience will not still be clear. So you want to turn out. You want to keep yourself safe. You want to make sure that you have your voting card. By now, every one of you should start to check for your voting cards, where you place it, because sometimes you may place it in an area and you may not readily think about it now. Or on election day, you will think that you place it in that position. If you went there, you wouldn't see. So use these days to next week to start checking. The reason for that is for surety, so that you will be sure that you have your card. Those of you who lost your voting card and you were asked by the National Elections Commission to go and do a replacement, you didn't, well, the time has passed and you will not vote. The person whom you have supported all along might not just win because you will not be voting. That is why it's good to keep your voting card. It is the one that determines who goes to the presidency and who goes to the legislature. Use these days in between to look for your card, make sure where you place it, it is there, If you realize it is not in the place that you place it, then it puts you in the position with the ample time that you have to look for it. And in the space of a day or hours or two, you can find it. You want to do just that so that you exercise your right to vote. With that said, let's move down to the next issue. The Lover County issue is still having a psychological scar on institutional reputation and individual security. With 5 days to go, the Coalition for Democratic Change, through its chairman, Molba Molu, will claim or reiterate, like his Secretary General Jefferson Koji did, that the violence was orchestrated by Unity Party. Hence, the international community will have to step in and do its own investigation with a caution. So he will call on the international community, drawing its attention to what happened, the electoral violence that flared up in Lofa County, describing it as horrific, and the killings of innocent civilians, while pleading with them, the international partners, to investigate the incident. Since then, both sides have been trading accusation and counter accusation. So, in separate communications addressed to the heads of the United Nations, UN Human Rights Commission, the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, and the European Commission, in the communication written on October 2nd, Molba Molu claimed that as Liberians prepare to participate in the elections, the former ruling Unity Party, led by former Vice President Joseph Yuma Boakai, has overtly adopted a systemic pattern of election violence never before seen in an election cycle in Liberia, he said. He went further to say that amid the emerging widespread commission of this new trend of election violence, especially against supporters of CDC, Ambassador Joseph Yuma Boakai cannot escape blame for the increasing state of election-related lawlessness, chaos, and the destruction of life and properties as he continues to incite violence and fan flames of conflict. He maintained that as a peaceful and nonviolent political organization that prides itself on being a champion of the existing space of equitable political and democratic freedom, which is now being threatened by the Bwaka-led opposition, the Coalition for Democratic Change would like to draw the attention of international partners to this egregious culture of election-based violence that constitutes a clear and present danger to the democratic process. And he went further to say that the situation is evolving into an existential threat to the peace and stability of Liberia. He didn't stop there. Molba Molu went further to say in his communication that the collective efforts of the United Nations systems and other international partners continue to play a commendable and essential role in Liberia's democratic growth and development. So this is just portion of his call to the international community of what happened. Unity Party too will call the attention of the international community to say this whole thing was orchestrated by the Coalition for Democratic Change. They planned it, they meditated on it, they executed it, and now they are throwing it at us as if, or so that it will be seen that we orchestrated it against them. The Unity Party will claim that it is a subversive tactics so that it will, the rest of the international community and the population here will see Unity Party as the one who has meted against CDC that violence. But as it stands, the justice or the investigation will only determine who did it. So we can all just hold on because the Minister of Justice, Frank Musa Dean, will make that very clear that in no time the situation will be, or the outcome will be known. Claims and counterclaims doesn't prove anything right. Claims and counterclaim doesn't say it is the fact. Claims and counterclaim is just to say you did it, and the other person said, no, I didn't. But it is the investigation that convinces everyone who must have done it. So the justice minister will make that very clear that the investigation will come out and it will be known by the whole world.
The joint security condemns in the strongest terms the violence which occurred on Friday, September 29, 2023, in Foya, Lofa County. Preliminary investigation has confirmed that the violence, which led to 2 deaths, the wounding of several persons, and vandalism, was the result of clashes between individuals identified as supporters of the Congress for Democratic Change and the Unity Party. We call on all peace-loving citizens to join us in denouncing these evil and wicked acts perpetrated by criminally minded individuals. Violence has no place in our democracy. An election must represent a peaceful process by which citizens choose their leaders. We express our condolences to the families and relatives of those who lost their lives. The Joint Securities Special Investigation Team on Election Violence has arrived in Foya, Lofa County, and has since commenced investigation into the incident of Friday, September 29, 2023. Those found culpable shall face the full weight of the law. People must be made to understand that when they break the law, they will be held accountable. The Joint Security, following a comprehensive review of its election security plan, has commenced the deployment of law enforcement officers throughout the 15 counties of Liberia ahead of the Tuesday, October 10, 2023 elections. The officers being deployed, led by the Liberia National Police, are in addition to those already stationed in the counties. We wish to assure everyone of adequate security. We provide security during the voters' registration exercise. We are currently providing security to presidential candidates and to campaign rallies to ensure that candidates campaign freely.
Liberia's Justice Minister Musa Dane. The concerned citizens of Foya Statutory District, too, are concerned, and they have raised or will call on the Justice Ministry or the Joint Security to speed up the investigation, that it be done impartially. What that means is it would not favor a specific person. They say that they have communicated that with the Ministry of Justice and other institutions that are in possession of their communication to soberly react, decipher, and independently investigate, arrest, and prosecute any suspect or suspects who perpetrated or provoke their hard-earned peace in Lofa County and the innocent citizens who were victimized, leaving others with serious injuries, death, and property damage for political supremacy. The concerned citizens of Foya Statutory District went on to say over the years, their district had been peaceful in various elections. Why at this time, this particular election is marred by violence? They went on to say the violence that occurred in Lofa County impedes the democratic exercise and political rights of their people and has a long-standing detrimental impact psychologically on their people beyond the electoral phase. Their engagement with support from the African Union, ECOWAS, civil society organizations, Independent Commission on Human Rights, American Embassy, members of the international community, and the rule of law will help prevent and break the chain of violence before and after the October 10th election. They went further to say the concerned citizens of Foya deeply regret the fallen sons of their own soil, and they are on the margin of consoling the minds of the family members. They recommend sustainable mediation and reconciliation amongst their people. The concerned citizens of Foya Statutory District would say in their statement. So the atmosphere is volatile right now. All of us know that. As much as it is bubbling politically, it is also volatile. It is also fragile. We've got to be careful. In these last days to October 10th, let us try the best we can. We stay hearing some noise in some areas, but we'll have to do everything we can to make sure that it doesn't have the kind of magnitude that others want it to have. Let's move now to the National Elections Commission. The body responsible or the referee. Preparations are underway. Preparations are underway. Elections materials are in the country. The National Elections Commission will say they are in the country. So they say that to enhance transparency, accountability during the result tallying process, they have bought 61 laptops, 59 projectors, 61 laptops, 59 projectors, and 59 projector stands for tally of the results of next Tuesday's elections. According to NEC, the materials are being deployed across the 19 magisterial offices or areas in the 15 counties. And they said that deployment of those materials are ongoing with just 5 days to go. And that at the close of October 2nd, which is behind us, they have deployed or have taken materials to 11 of the 15 counties. They've taken materials to 11 of the 15 counties, covering Sino, Maryland, Grand Crew, River G, River Cess, Grand Jita, Lofa, Upper Lofa, Lower Nimba, Upper Nimba, Bakpolu, Grand Cape Mount, Lower Bong, and Upper Bong. According to the National Elections Commission, these are areas they have taken election materials. with just 5 days to go. Next Tuesday is the election. They also said materials for the remaining 4 counties, Montserrado, Bombing, Grand Bassa, and Magibi, have been packaged, and deployment will begin this week. From the time they made the statement to the close of or on the eve of voting. And then something occurred in Magibi County, a reprint, according to the National Elections Commission, that they ordered the reprinting of ballot papers for District 1, Magibi County. And according to NEC, this is because a political party's initial was placed under the logo of an independent candidate. And that independent candidate is Joman Samuels. NEC said the error has since been corrected. It was an error. So because of that, they have to do a reprint. So it has been corrected by the reprint, and the ballots, it was done in Ghana. It's already in the country, and it will be delivered to the warehouse, or it has already been delivered to the warehouse. And then they also have staff all around. As the materials go, they have people responsible waiting. So they will train people ahead. You want to get a job done, you have to train people. You have to build up their capacity. You empower them logistically, and then they are ready ahead of the task. So according to NEC, they train temporary staff for next Tuesday. And they are in different categories. They are in different categories. 1, 79 electoral district coordinators. They train 79 persons who will serve as electoral district coordinator, EDC. 79. They've also trained 382 electoral supervisors. 382 electoral supervisors. 5,890 presiding officers. The person who supervises the process. 5,890 presiding officers. And 5,890 voter identification officers. 5,890 voter identification officers for across the country. And then accreditation for political parties, independent candidates. That accreditation of agents of political parties and independent candidates, according to NEC, is still ongoing. And the commission will encourage political parties and independent candidates to move at their headquarters on 9th Street and move to the Public Affairs Office to complete their agents' accreditation process. And let me add here, if you didn't go and you don't have what you ought to have, do not blame the National Elections Commission. Notifications, according to NEC, are made in advance. So you have to, independent candidate, presidential, whoever, whatever, you have to do a regular check. Make sure that you have everything available so that on election day or prior to election day, you can't say, oh, we didn't have this, or the commission is doing this, the commission did that. Send your people, send your agents, send their names, every other particular. Let the National Elections Commission have it. Don't presume or don't leave it as it is. Otherwise than that, it will affect you. No doubt it will affect you. It will affect you. It will affect you, no doubt. So you want to get there. The commission will instruct or encourage political parties and independent candidates to go at their headquarters, move to the political affairs office to complete their agent's accreditation process. Otherwise, than that, you will not be qualified to be at any one of the polling centers. And then NEC also said that they got support. NEC is getting the support needed. So what did ECOWAS do? ECOWAS purchased 4 vehicles, 31 ROC laptop computers, and 20 printers for the elections. And the other thing I want to talk about from there is this one. There has been serious concern whether the voting card, the voter registration card, will be punched or not. People had been hoping because everyone had all along been using punch card, or the country had been using punch card. So many will argue that it's going to create confusion if the punch card or the card would not be punched. So at the press conference this week, the chairperson of the National Elections Commission, Deborah Brown Lasana, was asked, and she was emphatic. Her emphasis, or she plays it squarely, that absolutely no. I want you to see something here. Yeah, what she said. Let me quote her verbatim. She said, "These cards will not be punched. They are designed to be durable and lasting for a period of 5 to 10 years. It's not just about the cards, it's the entire biometric process, which has cost Liberia more than 12 million United States dollars." She went further to say, "I have been clear from the beginning that these cards will not be punched. There is no verification process for the voting cards. Perhaps if the government had provided the US 91 million, we might have had card verification enabling electronic voting." So if you put this in context, you'll realize that her concern is more of preserving or the money than transparency. The people's suspicion, yeah, if the card isn't punched, people might vote 2-3 times, 2-3 places. If the card is punched, it will do away, it will fend off duplication. So she said how the card is produced, it can last for between 5 to 10 years. Moreover, it is purely biometric, and it has cost the government 12 million to produce. So what that means? Are you concerned of the production, how much was put into it, or transparency? Or to avoid duplication and maintain integrity? That you trade integrity for duplication. Which one, Madam Chairman? Are you trading duplication for integrity, or you are trading integrity over duplication? Because the concern, I think it has substance. The way sometimes she addressed issues, And that has been the problem with most people, most chairmen at the National Elections Commission, male, female. Sometimes the certain issues that is contentious in the minds of the public, instead of addressing it in a more psychological, philosophical manner, they will go emotional and impute lines that will increase concern further. You can't say because government put 12 million or if the government had given the 91 million. Tell the people, look, we can punch the card because the card is this. This is what we're going to do. This is how the card will be. This is how the vote will go. The civic voter education, you could not even do it at your own press conference. How would the people believe that the people on the field, what they're saying is true? You are the chairman. You should have everything at the tip of your fingers and your lips. So if a journalist raises that question, who is the conduit of the public, you rather explain in a more simple way that the card is biometric. This is how it's going to be. This is how the vote going to be. This is how the person responsible to handle the card, this is what he or she would do. You're explaining those simple technical issues so that they understand. But to impute money into it is to say, oh, come on, man. You put so much money in the thing here. So let's flow with it. And it's going to create problem. It's going to create problem, but I hope it doesn't. But if we start to hear about duplication and double voting, well, it wouldn't be a surprise. And if that happens, NEC will be held responsible. Explain to the people. If the people said if they ask that radio station, you say you'll not be using cover microphone, you'll be using wireless. Why at this time you're using wireless? Won't it cause a problem? Then the person will explain it technically that this is why wireless is going to be this way, it will be that way. This one wouldn't happen. Your suspicion is this, but this is how it's going to be, and nothing of such going to happen. There's going to be no duplication. There's going to be no double voting. There's going to be no alteration whatsoever. Simple. But imputing financial or the monetary aspect into it doesn't erase the suspicion, doesn't educate the people. So she said it will not be punch. No, it will not be punch at all. So we wait to see how it's going to be on Tuesday when he received the card. But I suspect that many people will be confused because it is the first time. It is the first time that we are using or will be using biometric. So vast majority of the society really don't understand. And I don't want to believe that the education was adequate, was enough. I don't want to believe so. So it wouldn't be a surprise. I'm not hoping for that. I do not want that. I want everything to go as smooth, as fair, as credible, as unhindered as you are. But it doesn't say, as we hope, so will be the reality. We can hope for fairness, but the reality will prove otherwise. So it wouldn't be a surprise if we see or hear the otherwise, because vast majority of the people aren't fully informed of this whole thing. In my opinion, NEC didn't do sufficient voter education on this. I know that for a fact because when you take 10 persons now and talk to them, ask them simple questions about the voter card, they will tell you, 9 out of 10 will tell you, we don't know. We know how it's going to be. We're just waiting when they get the card. Then maybe they will tell us what to do. I have done that. I talk to people indirectly. I disguise myself and just try to talk. Sometimes I bring it out in a lecture forum and see what do people have an understanding. Because that's another way of communication. That's another feature of communication. Sometimes you do things indirectly. You just bring us something and just say, oh, the voter card is out. And Do you have any idea? I think it's going to be this, I think going to be that. And you hear people saying, oh, no, 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 no. We don't know. We're just hearing biometric. In fact, we don't even have an understanding of what a biometric is. So I hope that we don't have that problem on next Tuesday. Because if people aren't fully educated, there's going to be a stall. That means people are going to stay longer period on that line because the next people will have to take time to educate them and tell them, okay, it's this, it's that, it's that. So it will take time. And you will hear murmuring on the line. Or just hope that it doesn't rain on next Tuesday. So my contention is it's not the issue of the money. She should not have talked about that. No. Whether you spend 2 million and government did not give you 5 billion, that's not the issue. The question was asked by the journalist what he had been hearing all around. So he took it to the person who is poised with the knowledge to explain it. And then she started to talk about monetary aspect, imputing monetary aspect into it, instead of explaining, giving a man a technical idea. Even if if you're not aware, because it doesn't say when you are a leader, then you are aware of everything technical. No, the leader is administrator, purely administration, he or she deals with. So you can invite the technical person who knows it at his or her fingertip to give a little illustration or education. Simple as that. Already, we are in the age of technology. So if you will do a simple display or a drill right there, it will be on all of the online TVs. People follow all the online TVs on a daily basis. So they will see it and say, oh, okay, that is it. She displaying it. Okay, now we know. Now we have the idea. I can see how it's going to be. I don't think it will give us hard time. Not at all. But to say, no, 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 it's not going to be authoritatively, there will be no punching. No, then it started to raise suspicion. I hope that going forward, we will start early education of whatever we intend to do or have to do in this country. And as we address the public, we ought to be more savor, relax, and convince our hearers what they ought to hear, and not to be emotional or angered by certain questions. Because public servant is at the disposal of the people. It's at the will and pleasure of the people. In Liberia, the public officials would see themselves as demagogues. So when they sit to address the media, they would say some awful things. They would do some awful addresses. They would use some awful expressions. When they sit to address the public, they will just say certain things and expect the public to accept it. No, you can't do that. You have to show every humility. The leader is always the last person to get vexed or to show any sign of emotion. So that will be doing it for that next set. There will be nothing like that. And another question was asked about the voter roll. You heard that you've been talking about it, that the commission will announce the preliminary outcomes of the number of registrants at the time of processing the data, she said, from the first and second phases of the collation of the numbers. At that time, according to David Etta Brown Lasana, the figures announced were work in progress, that deduplication and adjudication, the commission announced the final voter registration roll. What this means is not what's going to happen, no, but what happened that led to some of the people calling for the postponement of the election. That some numbers were removed, having gone through the process from the onset, And how come in no time the number rose again? So one of the lawyers in Liberia will call for the election to be postponed. That given that the 30 days apportioned by the law, the National Elections Commission didn't work within those 30 days, but rather will use less and not much time left for Liberians or the political parties to move to their people, to make public all of those things. So based on that, he said the election should be postponed. And you know, it can be, it's constitutional. That will be a breach of the constitution. That can be all right. Sometimes you just try, not sometimes, but all of the times, try to do something as significant, as transparent. So that will be doing it for the National Elections Commission. Let me move to another issue, then we can open the line. Let me see those of you who are following. Thank you so very kindly, wherever you are following. Can appreciate you more. Thank you so much. Valley S. Bala, thank you for following. Angeline for Fire, thank you for following. You are there in Minnesota. You are following from Minnesota. Angeline Fire, thank you so very kindly. I appreciate you that you join us. Hope that you're faring well. Washington Colley, you are following from Kakata. Thank you. V. Mohammed Sharif. You are watching from South Korea. Can appreciate you the more. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. And all of you who are watching, send your comment and it will be read. You're listening to Bits and Pieces on Voice of Liberia 104.1 Morovia, Voice of Liberia 89.7 Kakata Magibi County. You can also log in to our online radio, www.voiceofliberiaradio.com. Facebook, just put in the search box Voice of Liberia and you are in. When you put in Voice of Liberia, in front of the Voice of Liberia, you will see all in capital letter VOL, and the logo is blue, and you are in. Now, we've got 5 days to go. Election is so interesting. Election brings out what people are not normally. That's what election does. It brings out what people aren't really are or what they can do normally. Election will bring that out. What I'm about to say is what I saw with the Speaker of the House of Representatives, who is contesting, and he might want to become Speaker again if he wins, if the Coalition for Democratic Change wins the election, Buffer Chambers. I didn't know that he got so much energy that he can jog so strong. The man will jog or will join the campaign group and moving from one end to another. Man running. You know how to do that in the crowd, in the middle, they're moving, the kind of exuberant way. I didn't know that Buffer Chimot could move that way. I didn't know. And none of you know. Normally, he wouldn't move, except probably on a weekend, he would say that he wants to go to the gym to exercise. But what I have seen over the time, you can tell how people are desperate for election and what election campaign does. It forces them to be or to do what they can do normally, what they wouldn't do normally. It forces them. See the man jogging, the man moving along with the people. just like a footballer on the playing pitch getting ready for practice, or he's practicing moving around doing a marathon. I didn't know that he was so energized. Wow. So he is running in his district, Plebo-Sodikin, Maryland County. And he has done what he felt he did. And it's up to the people now. He could be re-elected. He he might not, but it's up to the people. The same one with the pro tem, Abachie. Abachie is on the other side, the two of them in the southeast. They are doing everything they can to get the people's vote so that they back into the legislature with the politics or legislative politics. Abachie wants to retain his position as Senate pro tem. Chambers wants to retain his position as Speaker. Well, that will depend on whether the Coalition for Democratic Change wins the election, or Unity Party, or Liberian People's Party, or Movement for Progressive Change. But they have the desire. Then what happened next? According to what has been reported, seven persons died. 7 persons died. I think they are all women. Couple of days ago, 7 persons died. Their makeshift structure fell. The makeshift structure, and the speaker, who is seeking re-election, will console them according to what is available. He would term as terrific. No, yes, 7 women, 7 women. So he would pay a tribute to those Fulani women who died after an upstairs building made of wood floor collapsed on Sunday evening in Plebo-Sodikin, Maryland County. He would join Marylanders in the hundreds to observe a day of mourning in the county for them. Their structure fell. Not many. They are all houses, all houses. Those days, the people would build their houses with wood, planks, solid planks, and it lasts for years. But nothing stays as it is for years. Everything with time begins to lose strength. But you still have most of those houses around. The last time I was in Broadville, just strolling, looking around, seeing those houses way back, way back, way back, houses in the 40s, the 50s. They will build their houses, offices with planks. Probably cement wasn't available at the time. So they took advantage of that, but it was very solid. Those houses were strong. That is why you have many of them today around the country. Many of them, I have seen a couple of them. So the house, it came down on them, and 7 of them died. And then Speaker Chambers, while seeking re-election, will turn to what has been happening over the time. These anti-peace statements, and he will direct his principally at Joseph Barker, who is the running the standard bearer of Unity Party. And he will term as terroristic anti-peace statements made by former Vice President Joseph Boakai and Nima County Senator Prince Johnson. He said, void of proper interpretation by the authors, the two gentlemen, the statements are anti-democratic. According to him, the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has been contacted to ensure a mechanism is instituted to deter such actions. According to Speaker Chimot, it is of extreme importance that political leaders should act responsibly and promote a peaceful environment during electoral campaigns, stating that the people of Liberia deserve the opportunity to choose their leaders without fear, intimidation, or violence. He went further to say it will be unlikely for former VP Boakai and Senator Johnson to depart Liberia without interrogation. Or they intending to depart Liberia to leave? Well, this is what he's saying. Let me go back to that line. He said it will be unlikely for former VP Boakai and Senator Johnson to depart Liberia without interrogation. These inflammatory remarks have the potential to undermine the democratic process and disrupt the peace and stability of our nation. He didn't stop that. He condemned the assertions or the statements made by them or attributed to them and assured Liberians of lasting peace under a continuity leadership of President George Weah. He calls on all political leaders, including former Vice President Joseph Boakai, to prioritize the well-being of Liberia and its citizens. I should quote him verbatim this one. He said, "We urge him and others to refrain from making statements that can potentially lead to violence and to instead engage in constructive dialogue and debate as we approach the elections. In the spirit of unity and national progress, he called on all political parties, civil society institutions, and Liberians to promote peace, tolerance, and respect for one another's view, stressing that citizens must work together to ensure that the upcoming elections are conducted in an atmosphere of trust and transparency." So these are just few of the bits and pieces we've got on the show this afternoon on Bits and Pieces. Voice of Liberia 104.1 Monrovia, Voice of Liberia 89.7 Kakata Magibi County Telecom Community, the online radio www.voiceofliberiaradio.com, and Facebook Live. So you can have your say now on any one of the talking points on 0770 907 907 0880 907 907, and you are live with just 5 days to go. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, my name is Prince Tule, and I join you from Nicholstown.
Let's hear you, Prince.
Yeah, okay, let me appreciate this and afternoon for the topic of discussion. You know, my brother, let me appreciate you holistically. My attention has been to the National Election Commission. Yeah, whole committee. My brother, we are just baking and the other brother stand to conduct a very free and fair election in this country. Because you will not say that you will have a portion of cut. So what if I vote to cinema school? Then my car has not been punched. Then I go to draw it up. They will say accept me to vote because there is no mark or there is no symbol on that card.
Have you seen the card, Prince? Have you seen the card yet? Have you seen the card yet? Have you seen the card?
You seen it?
You have not seen the card yet.
You have not seen it? What again?
So if you have not seen the card, then Don't conclude that there's going to be duplication of there's going to be double voting.
Yeah, it will be.
No, I don't. I don't think people are going to use that to double vote.
Because we saw it during the registration time that they said they were biometric. They will call people that were doing double registration, and at times people do double registration many times. They cannot yet. So this woman has to put people on the field to educate people how to vote. She has to put people on the field to educate people how to vote. Most people in this country don't know how to vote up to now.
All right, Prince. Thank you so much. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is Serena calling from Famous Island in Georgia.
Serena Colley.
Yeah.
Let's hear you, Serena.
Yeah, it's so sad to hear about the people that lose their lives to Cleveland, Maryland County.
There are 7 women. Their house fell, plank building.
And I just called there. One of my customers was in Maryland 1 month ago. One of my customers hearing for in it. It's so sad here. And for the election, that's why having the superstitious belief that the election will be this, it will be that. Let's just vote for every other result that comes out. That's it. Election will come and go. That one day will pass and we'll still be here. So for the sake of peace, let us continue on the peace. And forget about saying person will re-election, do this, do that, and just vote for election. When we vote, the result that comes out, let us accept. That's all. And for us, the first-time voter, for the decision we'll make the coming Tuesday, we'll have the decision for 6 years to come. So let us go and make the right choice.
So what are you telling your friends, your peers, where you are?
I'm telling my peers to stay out of violence. Violence solves problems. So let us stay out of trouble and do the voting peacefully and come home. You go, you do your vote and come out.
You got your voting card?
Yes.
Do you have your voting card?
Yes, I have my card. I'm going to Bond back for tomorrow.
Oh, Bond County. You register in Bond County?
Yes.
That's good. That's good. Thank you so much for calling, Serena. I appreciate you.
Thank you, too.
Have a nice day. 0770-907-907, 0880-907-907, and you are live on Voice of Liberia, Bits and Pieces, 89.7 Kakata. You want to lower your radio?
Hello?
Yeah, please lower the radio or move away from it so that.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Lower the radio so that you understand yourself.
Yeah, I think it's much better now.
Tune it down. Just listen by way or through the phone.
Yeah?
Tune the radio down.
The radio is off.
No,
I'm on the street. The radio is off.
No, sorry, sir. I'm getting the feedback. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Mike just started recording from how we was.
Yeah, what have you to say? Let's hear you, sir.
Yeah, for the statement Prince Johnson and Donald Trump and it's excellent. It's for our incoming president.
I mean, that statement, I think, finished now. The international community intervene, the government, everybody. We can be dwelling on that thing because, the more you dwell on something, it heightens tensions again. That whole thing finished now, Chief. 0770-907-907. You want 0770-907-907. Good afternoon.
Hello?
Yeah.
My name is Catherine calling from Lockington.
Catherine what?
What I have to say to my fellow brothers and sisters is for us to remain peaceful and pray for the nation. And then when we go to vote peacefully and leave the place, not making noise anymore and continue to pray for the nation. That's what I have to say.
So you're praying for the nation, eh?
Yeah, I pray for the nation because I just have a funny dream from the time Can be funny dream. Then I go to my church. Then my church people.
What kind of funny dream you've been having?
Yeah, like the dream I had the first time was I was going to work. On my way going to work, I read as people, and then I saw blockage to people. I said, but I go in there, what happened? Then the people say, but you here say the water coming from inside there, you talking about going to where you better go back. I said, no, I can't go back. I saw people in blue, and then I saw other people in green.
So
they were fighting among themselves.
So you've been praying. You say you've been praying now after you saw that in a dream. So who you been praying to? God?
For me, I've been praying for anyone.
So yeah, now you say you've been praying now. So you took it to God. So
Yeah.
what you been telling God?
I've been asking God, give all the rightful leader, the rightful one.
Oh, but you
I
said
will rule the country with peace.
You said you've been having dreams, and these
Yeah.
dreams can come different way. You've been seeing different things. Then, so
Yeah.
now you say you've been praying to God. So
Yeah.
what God said now? What you been telling God? You've been telling God about the dream that you saw, or that
Yeah,
God gave you
asking
leader.
God, my prayer is God give all the rightful leader and I will rule this country with peace and love.
So that the dream there, that dream, that the thing you saw in your dream.
No, that one I've been praying because what I saw in my sleep was not peace. It was fighting. The people were fighting among themselves.
Okay. Thank you so much. They were not for a year. Nothing will
Okay,
happen here,
bye.
yeah? Yeah, just relax
Okay.
yourself. They were not for it. Nothing will happen. Good afternoon.
Yes, afternoon.
Yeah.
I'm Bangal calling from district number 2, Masoro County. Yeah, I want to talk about the electoral process because I wouldn't see nobody on the field teaching us how to vote. And from now to Tuesday, it ain't fine anymore. So some of us not really know how the voting process will really go. So the election commission got to sort of teach us how the election will really go. I really want to know.
What you mean? You don't know how to vote, or you don't know how you're
No,
going to vote?
I know how to vote,
Your
but this time is
background,
parliamentary. So how
Chief,
the parliamentary president really operate?
your background too noisy. Sorry, you can get the radio loud. You want to hear yourself screaming loud? No, cut the radio off. Call just the phone. Just as you stand on the street and
Hello?
decide to call your friend, and no
Hello?
feedback. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing fine, thank you. And you?
Well, not bad at all. Yeah, I want to talk about this voting issue. Hello?
We are listening to you.
Yeah, okay. For me, I see that punching a card ain't mean anything because if you for every center have the picture there. If you picture not there, you go there. They'll tell you go look on the board when your picture is there. Where your picture is there, where you will vote. That's a problem. So if you know you finish voting and you go there, you don't see your picture. That means you will not vote. Because everybody's picture is there. So if you see that my picture is not there, so you want to something, then they will be able now. They will put your picture on that you voted.
And moreover, your finger will be ink.
Yeah, but
And
sometimes
the ink is indelible.
Yeah, what happened? They will want to find me to take it all to go and vote another area. So, but the part you go, where you going now, they say you want to put your picture will not be there. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
Your picture will not be there. So when you go there, you go vote for it. You know it's the voting. It should be somebody with conscience, your own conscience, because when you keep facing it, that way you can get your own disgrace. You see, that's the whole thing. You see, thank you.
Thank you so much for calling. Have a nice afternoon. Appreciate it. 0770-907-907, 0880-907-907, and you are on Voice of Liberia Bits and Pieces. Good afternoon. Lower the radio, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen so much irregularity because a job the mercy for that the cast will not be boss, the cast will not be punched. So, suppose that men meeting, perhaps they will pick another paper Because most of the cards themselves, most of the voter cards are missing from the people. They don't go for it. That means they got double. You can't even go for it in the police in the radio station. They have plenty. And they can't even go for it because they register 2-3 times. You see, that's a problem for me. I'm observing in the thing.
So you think that people will double vote?
I believe so. Because most of the people in that can't got missing. Every night I can listen to the radio, they can call over 30 missing cards. Nobody can go for them.
But if your card is missing, it means you will not vote.
Yeah, perhaps they had 2-3. Perhaps they had the other one. So when that one is missing, they forget about the other one. And many of them perhaps they are throwing it away, sir, because of the problem behind it. Maybe they are found out that they might be caught at last, so they threw it away. They're not going for it at all. Even the jacket, I call it, Jose Colba has it plenty. I know Jose Colba, sir.
Okay, Chief. Thank you so much. Just erase the suspicion. It's not going to be anything of such.
Hello?
Yeah. You want to move away.
Hello?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Hello, brother.
Yeah.
Yes, Usman Masari, calling from District Mana.
What's your Usman?
Yeah, actually, I want to speak on the issue of the voting card. So it will be necessary that the net punch the card because if I register 2 times and I register the just punch my card here, how will it reflect that I voted? So I'm going to cast another vote. So the essence of punch the card is more necessary than telling somebody say you should just go and vote, but not punch the card.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. And you?
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm Mr. Wilson. Paul Wilson.
George what?
Paul Wilson.
Paul Wilson.
Yes, sir.
Let us hear you, Mr. Wilson.
Yeah, man. Listen, this punching of cards, I think all this thing is just a strategy to contaminate this process. Because the fact remains that these are all required, statutory requirements, in order to lower the suspicion of corruption and whatever problem that lies ahead. Now, you have people taking people's voting cards and buying them and taking their serial numbers and doing all the rest of it. I don't think there was any major problem or it is any problem why these cards should not be punched. Because this is the only way that will make you to know that this person has voted and you will not have that ability to go back to trick anybody. One, the ink is indelible, but it's also removable. It can be removed. And who knows how indelible that ink is? Because once the mind is set to commit a crime or to corrupt the process, even the ink is not going to be indelible as you think. It could be something that you can erase anytime because that's how it was prepared. Now, I think these are all what you call incompetence and ineffective conduct that will allow confusion in the future. Because people buying cards. If you think you have no suspicion, no criminal motive to corrupt the process, why are you buying cards and taking people's serial numbers? So how are you going to propose that? It's already being, there's somebody at the neck already that's being accused of manipulating this process already.
How will people double vote, or a person will double vote when the card carries the person's picture?
Yes, the card will carry a picture, and it's possible you have voted around area E, and your picture is not in area B, but they have a master program already where people are there to receive you.
If you voted in precinct or whatever the area, and you went to, let's assume that you registered and voted in area B, and you went to area C, the voter roll not the same. The voter roll not the same.
As of now on, we're not even sure of the authentic voters' roll. You see the first thing? This has not been authenticated. There's a big question mark about it. There's question mark about the what you call overpowering of the number of population in a given case. All these things are reasons to believe and doubt this process.
So you're saying that it is possible that a person can register in area A, vote there, and then move in, find way to get the indelible ink from his or her finger and goes into another area that he registered prior to the election.
Because for this system we have, nothing is guaranteed, nothing is reliable in this place. As long as there's a set mind, a mindset to contaminate the process, all those things can be overruled. All those things can be manipulated.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. Good
Yes,
afternoon.
thanks for your patience.
Good afternoon. 077-0907-907, 0880907-907, and you are on Voice of Liberia 89.7 Kakata Magibi County Telecom Community, Voice of Liberia 104.1 Morovia, Voice of Liberia Online Radio, www.voiceofliberiaradio.com, bits and pieces with me, Sam Andrews, on this 5th day of October, with 5 days to go till next Tuesday. Good afternoon.
Yeah, this is Serena for the second time.
Sari?
Yeah.
So what happened? What happened again, Sari?
No, people keep saying the election is not, they won't be fair all of it. Then what can we do? Because the computer has got your fingerprint, everything there. You have your photo. So yeah, I'm Serena calling, and you are patient, all of it, and you take my photo is not yours. In my fingerprint are different. So what do you expect the election commission to do? What really they want the people to do? Because the people take through, I think first people know the registration, but not the fingerprint. But I when I go in to do my registration, I use my thumb, and only I having it. No matter I tell my gas, the fingerprint is different. So what do you expect people to do? What really they want the election commission to do? Please call and give instruction that the election will be free. That the way that election will be free, then I get idea on it.
All right, Serene. Thank you for calling. Have a nice day. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm Jonathan B. Sagi. I call from Sarah Waterfall, Bon County. Yeah, thank you.
How is Bon County this afternoon, Sheriff?
Yeah, well, it's fine.
Let's
yeah, the only thing I have to say about the whole something here, let's stop the forcing that election will not be fair, will not be transparent, will not be this, will not be that. The only thing I have to say to the governor of the Republic of Liberia and next, especially the security apparatus, they should deploy soldiers from security to the medical man bullet to where I think there in Korea, because I believe that more people came in Korea to come vote, and that violence was caused by some of the people that came from Sierra Leone to come register in Korea. Me, I'm saying this and don't even overlook it. I get the information that what I've been on the radio to tell the security apparatus and next. So I want to thank you very much.
Thank you for calling. Have a nice day. 0770907-907, 0880907-907, and you are on Bits and Pieces on Voice of Liberia 104.1 with me, Sam Andrews, on this 5th day of October 2023, elections year. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good
Yeah,
afternoon,
how are you,
sir.
brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, call to let you know concerning
Your full name, sir.
Oh, Sarah. My name is Zhao T. Kesserin. Zhao T. Kesserin. You get it now?
Yeah. Let's go ahead. Speak, Sao.
Yeah. This message should go to who washes them. I beg you, no one to trust. I know that there can be two in each room. There can be two. But one person wants pity. My brother, I want to cheating and come from. Is it my man? I went pass
You know who is me. Maybe I'm a being
So you're saying
deficient.
pool washer will be manipulated? You're saying that pool washers or party agents will be manipulated?
It may happen. It may happen. Because again, like to be interesting.
But chief, but I want ain't got nothing to do with the people. Ain't got nothing to do with now. Next time, listen, if you go there, you don't prepare your people. You don't get all that you need to get. You sit down, you allow the people to bully you, or even if you have all as party agent, you are well positioned, and you allow yourself to be bullied, you will be bullied. Simple as that. You just have to be vigilant. You have to be circumspect. That's all. Thank you ever so much. Have a nice afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, John.
Lower your radio or cut it off. I beg you.
Good afternoon. Yes, sorry. Thank you. Thank you. Moses Nyepan, I'm calling from Congo Town.
Yeah, but Moses, we aren't good yet. Your sound, your background. So just cut off the radio or move away.
Hello.
Yeah.
I think I'm a little bit old now.
No.
Yeah, I'm calling from Congo Town. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, my contribution has to do with the process we're trying to explain. You know, it is good that we really educate our people to the election because of we needed to know voter role, whether you are at that point or at this polling center. One. Secondly, we are hearing that the voter card will not be perforated. We will use sellable. Liberia has spent $12 million on this biometric. Now we thought that there's a system that will help us to contain fraud. Now people are telling us, or we're hearing that we're going to go to do the same manual thing, and the voter card will not be perforated. Let me be frank with you, my dear. This country, we are learning many things. That deliberate ink can be removed by chloride. It's not a thing that sticks on people. You understand? So the deliberate ink should not be the way forward.
It can be erased by chloride.
It can be erased by chloride. It can be erased. Buy a deliberate ink from the store and try it. Or for any original store and try it. It can be erased. It can be removed.
Have you tried it? Have you tried it yourself before?
It can be removed. I'm not asking you a question. I'm telling you. I'm a computer analyst. I've been playing with deliberate ink and things. I've been playing with deliberate ink. So that can be removed. No, with that one, we decided that the biometric system will be the best one for this country. But if not, so what is it that we're hearing that there are other polling centers that have been on ice? And we don't know the numbers. We don't know these things. So we need to know, look at the dates in between. And people are saying, and what election commission should do, everything have a schedule. This thing was scheduled by the time to the time we're doing this. After 30 days, there should be a voter roll. That voter roll should be reviewed by every citizen to know whether their name and their picture and number of centers should be known by them by the start. All this have not happened. Now look at the country. The country. We don't have a helicopter, whatever system that will be able to carry voter registration, boxes and things, how they call it, voting boxes to places.
But NEC hasn't raised any concern about difficulty in transporting election materials.
They have not raised any concern. How do you think will be transported? Everything will be transported to the various pool around the country.
No, wait now,
you
Chief.
Understand?
Wait now. I can sense your sentiment. I am telling you, NEC is responsible, and NEC hasn't spoken of any difficulties in transporting material. If they are experiencing difficulty, they would say. So you can assume that they are having difficulty transporting. Have you ever heard NEC say that?
No. Point of correction. I'm not saying they're having difficulty. I'm saying, looking at the country condition, the road condition, real connectivity. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying they're catching difficulty.
In previous elections, did you experience anything like that? Did NEC experience anything like that? No.
Of not operating the car or transporting, which one you asking?
Transporting, because that's one of your suspicions. All right, thank you so much. Have a nice day. 0770 907 907 0880 907 907. Good afternoon.
Good evening, my brother.
Good afternoon, sir.
So gonna follow Gloria Islam, nomenclature, and I'm calling from the Shakin, Bobby County.
Yeah, let's hear you.
Yeah, it is obvious that NEC know the procedure of a national election or general election. Because
NEC doesn't know?
yeah.
So you know?
The public knows.
So if
The public knows.
NEC doesn't
Yeah, the
know,
public knows. That's why I've been around the news
hey, my
that
man, wait.
they doesn't know how
Wait
to
now,
carry
Chief.
on the procedure of an.
Wait now, my man. Yo, what are you rushing for? Jay, you delivering speech or you delivering sermon? You said neck doesn't know. So to say somebody
They
doesn't
doesn't know
know,
what they are doing. They are not following procedure.
Chief.
You know it.
0770-907-907, When you call, take your time. Why are you imputing emotion into it? Sometimes emotion evade reasoning or wisdom. You relax yourself, put your points together, rehearse it, and then you can say. To say that a person doesn't know, it means you already know what the person does not know. So you should be in the position to say this is what the person ought to know and don't know. But you're just screaming and screaming. No, that's not how you go about it. Take your time, yeah? When you call on radio, you take your time to explain yourself. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah, you are on the air, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm Reliable Sherry. I join you from Besta Junction, District number 3.
Yeah, let's hear you, sir.
I have a question. The NEC, the last two steps.
Wait. Tell us, Squash Cat Man. Tell us, Squash Cat Man, to move away. Tell us, Squash Cat Man are behind you screaming. So you will move away.
I'm on the street, bro. I'm on the street.
Okay, let's try it.
Yeah, I have a question. The NEC last two steps, I think it creates it set up a stage of of doubt and that of incredibility of the institution.
Okay, Chief. Thank you. Thank you. All right. That will be doing it for the calls. Thank you ever so much for spicing it up. I can appreciate you the more. So let's talk these two and then we zoom out on the show this afternoon. The Ministry of Health and Social Welfare will announce or talk about the second phase of the polio vaccination. Thank you for spicing up. I'm not taking calls again. Thank you. You did extremely well. I appreciate it. So we're talking just two items, just two issues, and then we zoom out. So the Ministry of Health will announce the second phase of the polio vaccination. The second phase is coming up. The second phase. And then the Ministry of Ministry of Education. So let me take the Education Ministry first. They distributed schools of motorbikes. I think it's over 100, over 100 or 200 schools to their people to enhance their capacity, which is good, build their capacity. And yes, 200, 100, or over 100, over 100, the Ministry of Education. They say that they are demonstrating their unwavering commitment to bolstering the Liberian school system by supplying more than 100 motorbikes to district and county education officers operating in remote regions across Liberia. At an official presentation ceremony that took place on Newport Street, Professor or Education Minister, Professor Dr. Ansu Soni, will underscore the need or the pivotal role of monitoring and supervision, in his words, to elevate the quality of education in Liberia. He reasserted the ministry's dedication to ensuring comprehensive monitoring and supervision of all educational institutions throughout Liberia. He went further to employ the government for furnishing motorbikes and encourage district and county education officers to, in his words, conscientiously engage with their assigned schools. He also called on all patriotic Liberians across the country to endorse President George Weah's administration for an additional 6 years, allowing the fulfillment of ongoing projects, not only within the education sector, but also across other essential domains. So it's two in one that you guys interesting. Liberia system is so interesting, very interesting. Anyway, those from the executive, they work at the will and pleasure of the government or at the will and pleasure of the president. So if you want to maintain your job election time, you drop everything independent. You drop everything. There's no divided loyalty. There is fixed loyalty. If you can, you will not maintain your job. If you can. The guys at the legislature, no, they can't be remote control. They are relaxed. At the judiciary, they are relaxed. Executive, they aren't relaxed. That is why everybody, all government officials, all, they're forced to campaign. They're forced to wear party t-shirts. They're forced to do everything. They're forced to come on Facebook. They're forced to go ballistic. If there is something, they have to. You know why? Because everyone is watching. You want to maintain your job. Those of you who have problem with that, no, you shouldn't. If I were the one, I would do the same. If I were a government minister, I would do the same. Everybody in the executive, they work at the will and pleasure of the president. So if you want to stay there, then you support the president's agenda. You can be diametrically opposed to the one who has the authority. In the executive, there is no independence. No independence. You work at the whims and caprices of the leader if you want maintain your position. Moreover, if you believe in that vision, if you trust the vision, if you know the viability of the vision, then you have to support it head on. So it's not wrong. These ministers are campaigning here and there. That's the pattern all over the world. When in the United States, you expect that the people, Trump wants to come back, or Biden contesting. You think Biden people will go again and say they are remaining independent? No. So those of you who have problem with this, you need not. You're dropped out. That's how it is. If I were the one, I would do the same. At the close of the day, listen, every revolution, there is a dividend. There is a dividend to every revolution. You either support the revolution, you gain, or you don't support the revolution, you stay out. Every revolution is profitable. Every revolution. That's why people are part of it. Revolution simply means a project. It simply means an idea and how it will be executed, a plan. So this is a revolution. That means to make sure that there's a change. Like you see, all of them are campaigning, all of them trying to revolutionize Liberia. So what are they saying? They are selling their manifesto because they want to revolutionize. They want to take it to another level. They are identifying each other pitfalls so that when they are afforded the opportunity, then they can come in with their ideas and revolutionize it to the level or the point at which they want it. Now, to do that, you need a team. If you're already in, like President we are in is, then his people have to support it. If the person isn't in and wants to come in, like you have the opposition, their people, the rest of the people have to support as they are supporting Joe Biden. So when they get there, they get their pay in return. So you don't criticize the people. And so Sonny say y'all want all these things to continue. You support President George Weah second term. You re-elect him. The minister would say, if y'all want this, then y'all got to support the president. Y'all got to re-elect the president. The other minister would say, if this must come to your place, then you have to support the president's agenda for re-election. There's no wrong in that thing. No wrong. I have heard people complaining when they see a minister in party t-shirt. So, where your government minister and you're wearing party t-shirt? Where is this? Where is that? Oh, come on. That's mental abnormality. I should say that. We're sorry if you think that I'm sounding disrespectful. No, it is not. If a government minister in such a time not wearing a party regalia, and it is that party that party that is ruling, that minister is seen as a mutineer or a rebel. A rebel is that person that deviates from a standard. So you have to allow them. It is their right. They're supporting an agenda. There's no wrong in that. No wrong for a government minister to wear party t-shirt. No wrong for a government deputy minister not to support. No. When you're in there, you're there. The Constitution says everybody in the executive, they work at the will and pleasure of the president. They are the supporters. They are the pilots of the president's agenda. They are the ones who are driving the agenda by implementation. So if they value not, or if they don't find it necessary, if they want to be independent, then they cannot be in there. Then it means that they have to stay out. To stay out means you are independent. It is what we refer to also as neutrality. But in this context, there isn't anything called neutrality. In fact, neutrality doesn't exist in practice. Neutrality only exists in theory. It only exists on paper. You have to take side. God in heaven himself took side. God is a siding God. God takes side. So why wouldn't you want to take side? Why wouldn't a government? You're already there. The fact that you're in the government is a sign. The fact that the president appointed you is a sign. If you didn't want, you wouldn't have accepted, or you wouldn't accept the president's request. The fact that you accept it graciously, it means that you believe, you accept that idea to be true and nothing but the truth, or the president's agenda to be true and nothing but the truth. Therefore, you are under obligation to support it. And everything associated with it, you don't have to go covert, but you have to come open. So there's no wrong. You have people that, oh, why you say where they want? You ain't say where they want. It means the same people who saying it when the people were in government, they were wearing it. Then it wasn't unethical. It wasn't wrong. The intrinsic power of Liberia. Once it's not in our favor, it's wrong. When it's in our favor, it ain't no wrong. Okay, man. All right. Thank you ever so much. Once it is not in our favor, it's not correct at all. When it's in our favor, then it's okay. All right, man. So that's all the time we've got to be with you on the show. Thank you ever so much. We are back tomorrow, the weekend. And the weekend is going to be less politics, more social. My man, your love calling, and I wish I could take your call again, but no, we are out already. So tomorrow is going to be, if God permits, less politics and more social. We'll look at some basic issues in our society, and some going to be on safety. Too many people are dying, and let me say it this way: they want to die, and so they die. And such death is not regrettable. You know why I'm using these words? Because you can see the danger, and pieces of advice will go forth. And they will know that what the person or people are saying, it is right, but they will allow their emotion to evade future safety for disaster. I stay saying that too many people die, they are under this ground, than the time they were to go. Even though people say you can, when you died at your time. Yeah. But if you know the doctrine of predestination, you wouldn't argue that. You people have to stop this whole thing of driving and answering phone. Sorry to say, it's the most foolish thing that a person will ever attempt to do. You're on a highway, you're in a cluster, traffic, where you're on phone. Some people reading text message. The last time we listened, we watching the lady. She on expressway. This area here, they bypass going Cinco, all the place that expressway. It may not be as America, as Italy, France, Germany. It may not be as wide as you think, but it is the same expressway. The cars move at certain mile or uncertain mile. Moreover, the African culture is different. The American, the white people, they get all those things. And so for our own, people just moving, wall, zigzag, sudden stop. So if you're driving, like somebody said, if you can drive in Liberia, then you can drive any part of the world. I know how true that is. I take the opposite or the reverse. If you can drive in Liberia, then you can make many accidents in other countries. Because Liberia is just war. It's just haphazard. People make sudden stop, people jump through, or people jumping on the road, not observing right light. See the red light, people been complaining in this country. They'll complain, oh, no red light. Oh, the government not doing that. They don't want to pull it on. They sort of have red light to the play. All kinds of stuff. The red lights are on, or traffic lights. Guess what is happening? They are ignoring the traffic lights. They're moving. So if two cars collide and death occurred, what will you say? People will find way to say, oh, the government, they do the one, they're doing the other one. They wouldn't say it is our own foolishness. Even if you are moving and you are the only driver or the only car over there on that lane and the traffic light comes on, you will see the person still taking advantage of the space to flow through. Now, when that gets used to you, you go in other country, you'll do the same. So that expression now, when you can drive in Liberia, you can drive anywhere, that's a lie. It's not a good expression. It's a bad one. You can't make it. That's why when Liberians go out of this country, they are always in police cell being investigated because they are not exposed, or they just feel that, oh yes, oh no, we should not go by anything called norms. You're driving, you're still answering phones. When something happens, then when you hit somebody's car, or you hit somebody's child, or you attempt to dodge and you run into a group of people, or you run into somebody's institution, or somebody run into you, you stop it. All you have to do with, listen, here is it. You see, the women, I'll always stop at one because I can watch the women. I'm not sounding racist, my people are back here. But you see, the white man, the same 5 senses that God gave the white man, God gave us the same 5 senses. But because we are black, so we think that our 5 senses are dark. So we always try to tread the outside of life. The white man is more creative than the black man. Take my challenge, argue, say any way you want. Even if you want to lambast me, I like it. I like it, I appreciate it. If you can even send me text message saying all of those things, I will appreciate it. It will help me along the way. The white man is more creative by his caution or his observation. The people realize over the time that people putting phones to ear and then accident occurring. So what they did? They start to build the phone with inbuilt That's how you have this thing called Bluetooth, all this kind of stuff. So even if you want, if you moreover, the Bluetooth is built in the car, so you can connect your phone to your Bluetooth in the car. If somebody call, and then the women start they put it on automatic call 3 times. That means if you connect it to your Bluetooth in the car, it will ring the first time, two, the second time, two, the third time is it answer by itself. So you can be in your car and you talking and you concentrating. You're looking left and right, you're looking in front of you. If your car doesn't have that, what happened? The women put it on the phone. This phone, my phone, I have it. Here's it. All you have to do is to connect your earpiece, and switch on the automatic answer. And it will ring the same 3 times, and then the voice is on, and you will know. All you have to do is to just, in a twinkling of an eye, look at the screen, and you know who's that. Some people use that. Now, if you don't have it, then use the normal earpiece. I have seen some commercial drivers. They have the earpiece while driving. It's risky because when you have the phone in your hand, you're twisting it one side, and then you one hand on the wheel. And if you are using standard car, you have to change the gear. Some will have to take the phone from the ear, then they change the gear, they put it back. Then the other hand on the wheel. You know what you're doing to yourself? Somebody can cross in from you. Somebody can jam you. Somebody can make sudden stop. And then there's a problem right there. That's how some of the accidents are. That's why we see some of the accidents all over the place. So we'll talk about some of these simple errors tomorrow, if God permits. Thank you ever so much for being with us. That's all the time we've got. And let's say happy birthday, blessful birthday to Abraham Dente Weir, a voice of Liberia 104.1. He's celebrating his birthday today. The man who is always behind bits and pieces to make sure that everything goes well on the air. He celebrates his birthday today. Abraham Dente Weir. Wish for you many more birthdays, God's favor, God's blessing, everything godly. Abraham Dente Weir, as you celebrate. Whenever your birthday comes, celebrate it. It may not be as elaborate, but it is very essential. It is memorial. You got to celebrate it. Even if you don't have much money, celebration is not determined by the money. Celebration is satisfaction. So if you took one bottle of soft drink and just drank it with Thanksgiving, that's celebration. If you call 2, 3 friends together and you people amuse yourself, that's celebration. Right there. It doesn't have to be elaborate. It is not the extravagant part of it that makes it a celebration. That's how people can measure celebration. So you see, the lady will say, "Yeah, I saw my friend wedding. Wow, that wedding was not easy. The reception alone, I want my own to be more than that." So she would think that if she doesn't reach at that level, then it is not a celebration. No, celebration is in eternal satisfaction from in out. It is not the elaboration or how extravagant it is. Simple. So, Abraham Dente, we are whichever way you are celebrating this afternoon. Thank God Almighty for you. Celebrate well. Bless God that you are opportune by His grace and mercy and goodness to see another day. Wish for you many, many more birthdays to come. Abraham Dente Weir. And let's say thanks to Secret in Kakata Magibi County, voice of Liberia 89.7. He's coordinating things there along with the guys at there. Thank you ever so much, Secret or Daniel Salif. Well, that's it. That's all the time we've got to be on the show. We're back tomorrow, if God permits. My name is Sam Andrews.
Don't trouble nothing too much, you know.
One, 2, 3, loving. 6, 17, 7, 9, I want you back.
I love you. I'm missing you. I want you back. Long time no see. Out your love, I'm lonely. I miss you. And it's too hard to bear. What have you done to me? I'm waking up in the middle of the night without you.